Hey guys, it's Shy with Lost Audio, and today I'll be showing you how to build a vocal rack and how I kind of go about it. I'll also be explaining what everything does. Here's a demo I made. I think it took me 5 minutes. Not my best work in the world, but it's just something to show you kind of what you'll get with this.
You brought me from the start. Too much pain and I can't restart. Blood dropping inside my car. Blood dropping inside my car.
So here's what it sounds like. I'll just, the ooh, that can go away for now. I'll just kind of play the main thing here. This is what it sounds like without the rack.
Blood dropping inside my car.
Let's break down kind of how we made this thing. First thing I do for this type of genre and melodic style is I'll put on auto-tune. I'll use Antares for this, for my auto-tune, but you can use whatever, waves, pitch, or I don't know if that's what it's called, but there's other auto-tunes out there. I'll just find the key and the scale. The retune speed, I usually keep from sounding way too roboty, so like I put mine between 15 and 6 max, and then I'll always turn up the humanize to about 25%, and that just sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
It's a little roboty, but that's kind of what I was going for here. Next, I will add a noise suppressor, and basically what this does is it's like a gate, so I'll put it at about, I don't know, 10 here, and I need to close my windows. So when the vocals drop out, there's no noise in the background, so if there's like a fan or anything like that, it'll just basically trim that out of it and turn the volume all the way down. So with this specific one, I usually always do anywhere from 1 to 15 max. For this one I just did 9, 10, that works, but that's it for noise suppression. Next, I'll always add an EQ after noise suppression. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking out the low end to remove the muddiness from the vocal, and then I'll boost the high end, and in the mid-range and up into the higher mid-range, I will take out the harsher frequencies. So for example, if you listen to this,
Blood dropping
you see how that one part hurts your ears? So I'll just take that and turn it down. And what that's doing is it's making your vocals not hurt your damn ears. Alright, sounds a lot better. You should always do that with every vocal take you do. Always EQ your stuff, because there's certain frequencies that are just unbearable to listen to, and your mix overall is just gonna sound not good. But without EQ, it sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
And with EQ, it sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
You can already hear that it got a lot cleaner. But let's move on. Next, I'll add an SSL channel. What this is doing is the same as the EQ in a type of way. I'm just taking out the low end here at 120. The high frequency I'm turning down to -2, -3 on the mid-high frequencies, and then boosting the low end mid frequencies by 1%. Without, it sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
And with it, it sounds like...
Blood dropping inside my car.
I really don't know if I can hear a difference there, but it's very minute. But anyway, let's move on. Then we add our compression, and to explain what compression is to people that don't understand, it basically takes the loud and the quiet and squashes it together. So say if you're recording like talking really loud, and then you say something really, really not loud, it just squashes it together, so it's always like one volume. And you really need this for vocal processing, to make your mixes sound overall more fluent and kind of just better in general. Yeah, so for my R compressor, I will turn it down to -33, mess with the ratio to how I like it. So for this, it was 3.6. The attack I'll put on 1, and the release I'll just turn down a little bit. And usually when you compress, your vocals are going to get a lot quieter, so I just turned it up a little bit to 3.5. So without, it sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
And with, it sounds like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
So you can tell it's like really squashed. It just sounds like it's all in one layer. Next, I'll add a Pultec. I still don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but the EQ P1A. Basically what this does for me is boosts the high end and adds like a really crisp high end to your overall recording. I love using this. It has literally been a lifesaver when I couldn't add certain high end without it ear piercing your ears. It is a great plugin. For this, I turned the boost up to 6, the attend to 3, attend cell to 20, the high frequency to 16, bandwidth down to 0, and the low frequency to 100. And so without that, it sounds like
blood dropping inside my car.
And with it, it sounds like
Blood dropping inside my car.
If you can hear that, there's just like a really crispy high end at the end there, and that's just the type of sound I love going for. This is the really crispy takes. Now, I don't really think the CLA is really doing anything, but I always put it on there anyway. I turn everything off besides the treble and the compression, and I put compress on push and the treble on bite, and I just turn it up 1 for each of them. I can see if there's a difference here.
Blood dropping inside my car. Blood dropping inside my car.
Okay, it actually does make a difference. But yeah, I always put this after my high end. I guess it just makes it louder. But that's it for CLA. Then I always add a de-esser. This is very important because in takes, if you're saying you know, it hurts your ears. It's not a great sound to listen to. What this does is it just kind of flattens out that and gets rid of the super ear piercy parts of it. So without it, I just have it at 37, by the way. I really don't change anything else here. Without it, it sounds like
blood dropping inside my car.
And with it,
blood dropping inside my car.
Probably turn it down more.
Blood dropping inside.
But here's kind of what it does.
Blood dropping inside my car.
Always add your de-essers. No one wants to hear ear-piercing sounds. It hurts. Thank you. Next, I'll add another compressor. This is a gate compressor, so with this one, with RVox, I'll turn down the gate all the way and just mess with the compressor until it sounds to where I want it. So for this one,
blood dropping inside my car.
It's really just making it louder. That's all I really wanted, and it compresses it at the same time. You can add this technique to just make your vocals louder and more compressed at the same time. Lastly, on the rack, I will just add a very specific EQ as to where the high end is and the harsher frequencies.
Blood dropping in.
And I'll just turn them all down, every single one of them. Boost the high end very, very little and take out the low end, probably do that more. And that's really it for the EQ there. It's really just taking out every specific thing. So without it,
blood dropping inside my car.
And with it,
blood dropping inside my car.
Perfect. Oh, sad. I had this on the whole time. All right, so without all that, it should sound like this.
Blood dropping inside my car.
So, I mean, it sounds good, right? It sounds good. But you always want to have a bus or some type of effect rack on your vocals. So for mine, I always add this EQ, which does the same exact thing, except I boost the high end a lot, and I think that's really it. It's just a more specific EQ for the overall mix, and then that's it.
Blood dropping inside my car. Blood dropping inside my car. Blood dropping inside.
Made it sound more flat, less low end, way better sounding. And then the final step is just add your delay and reverb. For me, I use H delay. Dry wet, very low at 6, analog off, otherwise you're gonna get a sound in the background. 1/4 delay, feedback I turn down to like 40. High pass and low pass evenly at like 100 and 4K, just to add a little bit of cuts to the low and high end. And then I ping pong it. Then I'll add a H reverb, and what I'm doing with this is when it first launches up, it's looks like this, but if you expand it, you can change the EQ for the reverb. This main preset, the default setting, has a lot of low end in it when you're recording or putting it on there. So what I'll do is I will always drag down the EQ to take out some of that low end. So this one is specifically at 250, or no, this is at 280, -10. And this one is just at 637 at 0.60. Then I'll add a little pre-delay and turn the tail down a little bit. and then to where it kind of like is matching the vocals, and then dry wet at like 15%, and boom, you guys, oh shoot, you guys have officially made a vocal rack. I will play this one more time. Okay, wait, I will play this one more time.
You brought me from the start. Too much pain and I can't restart. Blood dropping inside my car. Blood dropping inside my car.
Also, one thing I forgot to mention is the doubles are the exact same vocal rack. The only thing that I do is turn them down a lot and put one left and one all the way right. You can also do like a little bit, but I like to just put mine all the way. And then I usually just record in the octave below what I'm recording, or really low octave, matching the vocals.
Blood dropping inside my car.
It's a little off, but doesn't matter. It's just adding stereo to the recording. And that's pretty much it. I broke down what I do, how this was made, and this is pretty much for every single rack I do. I will take this rack and I will try to tweak it and turn off certain things for depending on what I want the result to be. That, or I'll just try to evolve the rack and make it try to sound better and more modern. But other than that, that's really it. I really hope you guys found this somewhat informational with my bad teaching skills, but like I said, music is not that hard. Once you get the grip of it, you'll always have it. It'll always be second nature. But yeah, I really hope this helped. This has been Shy with Lost Audio. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.